getting nervous. Okay, so one one student today?
Yeah,
Okay.
one student today, and I'm trying to think. There's nothing unusual.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
everything's normal.
And this Tuesday I'm gonna join coming
Yes.
Tuesdays, right? So seven.
Yes.
And then this and next Tuesday, and then I'm gonna meet you on 20th at my
Yes.
house for the
On
food.
Shabbat Shalom. I know the coffee's still kicking in. We're still like getting ready. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There we go. Well, your microphone, that's cheating. It is always wonderful to be able to celebrate Shabbat. It's always wonderful to be able to celebrate wonderful people. And it's always wonderful to be able to gather together and to find joy and find light and find the sweetness of Shabbat together. And to help us be present during our Shabbat service, I want to offer just a couple tips and tricks. Each of you received a copy of our Reform Jewish Movement prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah, when you came into the sanctuary. You'll notice in it there are our prayers in Hebrew, our prayers in translation, also in transliteration, Hebrew words in English letters to help everyone participate. There's also, on the other side of the page, you'll usually see some poetry, some commentary, maybe a couple choreography notes that help someone find the spirit in the moment, even if the prayers themselves aren't quite in the language of spirit that you need at the moment. Wherever you find yourself in the prayer book, that's probably where you're supposed to be. And there'll be plenty of page numbers so that you can catch up with us on the next page. There are also 2 words that you already know that are going to help you participate to your heart's joy. So repeat after me, Amen, La. If you can say Amen, if you can say La, you can participate in every way possible. Sing along, clap along, hum along, and if you don't know the words at all, you can agree all the way at the end of a prayer by saying Amen. It's as if you said the whole prayer with us. And I would like to offer a special greeting to all of Matthew's friends. It is so wonderful that you are all here. It's so wonderful that you are here to support Matthew in putting all of this learning and all of this work together into a garden space. And if you listen really carefully, I don't have to speak that loud for you all to hear. That's true. All of you know this right now. So, if you're whispering to each other or anything like that, just know that Matthew's worked really hard, and sometimes when you hear a bunch of shuffling or whatever, it can be a little bit distracting. If you need, there's restrooms down the hall, there's a lobby, feel free, but in here we want to help Matthew to focus as much as possible. Thumbs up agreement? Awesome. To help us start our service, we welcome the Torah and all that it symbolizes into this moment and into this sacred space. We invite up Mark Kotz and Mary Lou Osterberg to help us with our ark doors. Please rise as you are able. Please be seated. We turn to our opening prayer on page 67 and invite up Chris Harmon.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Amen. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, how beautiful are gatherings like this, how beautiful are days like this. We turn to page 74, we sing together. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Our world is filled with miracles, miracles that happen at every point in our day, every point in our life. And because they're so everyday, sometimes we don't get a chance to even notice them, let alone be grateful for them. And so our tradition and our liturgy gives us this opportunity to notice the miracles that are in our lives with a series of blessings that we call Nisim B'chol Yom, the miracles of daily life, that help us find our soul in this moment, help us truly see all the gifts that we have in our lives. We turn to page 175, where Matthew will lead us in these Nisim, these miracles, responsively.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech vivina lechavhin ben yom uvein laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefuvim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten leya'ef koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavir shanei me'inai utnumai me'afa pai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
This last blessing is a blessing for Torah study, and as Matthew knows, we would never do a blessing without also doing the action, right? Okay, great. And so we turn to page 180, where we have a piece of Mishnah, one of the very first commentaries on the Torah, that lists 10 actions, that in doing those actions and studying this piece of Mishnah, it is almost as if we have studied the Torah in its entirety. Matthew will teach us in English.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
Amen. As we transition from the prayers that help us to warm up our souls to the real work of our souls, we make that transition with Chatzi Kaddish, page 194.
Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemir Rabbi, Bi'alma Divrach Erote, Bi'amlich Malchut מן כל ברכתה בשירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירון בעלמה ויאמרו Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam bechochma asita malach ha'aretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha selah Or chadash al Zion ta'ir v'nizkechu lanu me'era le'ora Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'arot
On page 199, we continue in English responsively. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity.
We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose.
May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael, be'ahava. Amen.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha Bechol levavcha u'nechol nafshecha u'bechol me'odecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha Veshinantam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam Veshivtecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uvshochbecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Al Yadecha Vehayu Letotafot Bein Einecha Uchtavtam Al Mezuzot Beitecha Uvisharecha Leman Tizkeru Vasitam Et Kol Mitzvotai Vehitam Kedoshim Leelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeit Yetchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Leelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We continue on page 203, where Matthew will lead us in the English.
Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvtechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula, Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo, Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim B'chesed, Mechaye HaKol Brachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Vene'emana Talech HaChayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol.
Please be seated. At the center of our worship is a reminder of the holiness of this day, not only because we get to gather together, not only because we get to celebrate wonderful people, but because it becomes almost a recreation of the divine spirit within each of us, and we get to echo God's actions. Because in the beginning, as the Torah tells us, God created the world in 6 days, and on the seventh day, God rested. Now, every seventh day, we have that opportunity to rest, to rediscover our purpose, and to rediscover our own souls with the prayer Yismechu, page 211 at the top.
Shabbat,
No service is ever complete without a prayer for shalom, a prayer for peace and wholeness, for goodness and blessing, a prayer for all those we love, all those in our community, indeed a prayer for our whole world. We ask for God to seem shalom, to place that peace, that sense of knowing that we have everything that we need upon us and upon our world. Page 216.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha.
We take these next few moments for the prayers of our hearts in this moment of silent reflection. We turn now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the order for the reading of the Torah, beginning on page 244. And we invite up Jerry Bakanek, Allison Harmon, and of course, Matthew, we can't do anything without you, for the passing of our Torah, page 244. Please rise as you are able.
In Kamacha Elohim Adonai Ben Kemasecha Malechutecha Malechut Kol Olamim U'Memshaltecha Bechol Dor V'Dor.
Havu Godel Eloheinu, Utznu Chavod LeTorah. Come, let us declare the greatness of God and give honor to our Torah. This is our Torah which was handed to Moses on Sinai, and he handed it to the generation of the desert, and they handed it to all the generations in all the lands, until now it finally reaches Matthew. This is our Torah which centers around the watchword of our faith, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai hagedula, hagivura, hatiferet, vehanetzach, vehahod. Ki chol bashamayim uvaretz, ki chol bashamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'amid la'aseh lechol erosh. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all know by now that my name is Matthew, and I am here today to talk about my Torah portion and how our actions show who we are as people. My Torah portion is called Beshalach, which tells the story of how the newly freed Israelites escaped Egypt with the help of Moses as he parts the Reed Sea. This is one of the most important stories in the Torah. Don't just take my word for it. Google even says that this Torah story is one of the top 5 most important stories in the Torah. And there is even a painting depicting Moses parting the Reed Sea right outside the sanctuary. This story takes place in Egypt after Moses repeatedly asked the Pharaoh to let his people be free. And once the Pharaoh finally agreed, Moses gathered his people and fled. But very quickly, the Pharaoh changed his mind and sent his army to bring them back. God asked Moses, "Why do you cry out to me? Tell the Israelites to go forward, and you may lift up your staff and split the sea. I will stiffen the hearts of the Egyptians so they go after you, and I will gain glory through the Pharaoh and his men." Moses listened to these words and held up his staff and split the seas. The entire Egyptian army soon began to come in pursuit after the Israelites. God saw this and decided to throw the Egyptians into the sea because they acted badly and violently towards the Israelites. In the story, Moses needed to gain the trust of the Israelites, so he demands that the Israelites must have no fear, believe in God, and have faith that God will help them escape the Egyptians. When Moses encouraged the Israelites to have trust, he showed that he was also worthy of trust. Moses' actions showed who he really was as a person. As Bishallah suggests, our actions show who we are as people. One action I recently took was at school in my science class. I finished my science project early, and I noticed some of my friends around my table were struggling on their tsunami simulator project report. I had the idea to peer edit and revise their work for any errors. I eventually ended up helping a lot of people because I wanted to make sure that everyone understood the concept and would do well on their project. This action shows that I am a helpful and trustworthy person. Actions like these have been noticed by my teachers at school. My teacher even gave me a "caught being awesome" as a reward. I even ended up getting nominated for Student of the Month in the very first month of school. I felt proud of myself and felt myself wanting to continue showing how helpful and supportive I can be. My actions show who I am as a person. While studying to be a bar mitzvah, we are asked to participate in Tikkun Olam, also known as healing and repairing the world. One thing I noticed from my Torah portion is that the Israelites were now homeless after leaving Egypt. They had nowhere to go. This made me think about the people in my community suffering from homelessness and poverty. I ended up deciding to participate in Family Promise. Family Promise is a national organization that helps families experiencing housing insecurity to achieve sustainable independence. These families are like ours, but circumstances have brought them to a point of financial crisis. I volunteered to bring food and hang out while making crafts with two amazing families that my temple hosted through their program. Also, I helped provide Thanksgiving meals to residents of a safe place in Lake County for people who are victims of domestic abuse and had to leave home. I also volunteered a couple of times at Feed My Starving Children, which aims to end hunger by feeding children around the world. I chose to do these projects because I do my best to care for people who need extra help and support. These programs bring together lots of people to care for each other. Our actions show who we are as a community. Now, I wouldn't be here without my family, friends, and Temple Jeremiah, and I want to thank them for helping me learn so much. I want to give a special thanks to my teachers and tutors for helping me learn about my Torah portion and for being there every step of the way. And a thanks to my parents and brother who are always cheering me on. I want to give a final thanks to you all for being here and supporting me today. I hope each of you remember how much your actions show who you are as people. When we remember this important lesson, we can show each other how good we really are. Together, we can make the world a better place for everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
When you've already taught us Torah so well, it almost feels like we don't need the scroll, but you've practiced from the scroll so hard that maybe we should read this too. More Torah is never bad, right? Okay, good. So if you would like to follow along in the reading, you are more than welcome to do so in the Chumashim, the printed versions of Torah that are either under your chair or one of the chairs nearby you. And we will begin on page 436 with Exodus chapter 14, verse 14, page 436.
In honor of the first Aliyah, we call up Mark Kotz. Ya'amod Menachem ben Moshe Penina le'aliyah le'Torah. It is. I'll get it. Don't worry.
Ready? Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah le'olam v'ched. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam aser bachar banu michol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Adonai yilachem lachem ve'atem tacharishun. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe matitzak elai daber el bnei Yisrael ve'isau ve'ata harem et matcha unte et yadcha al hayam ufkaehu vayavou bnei Yisrael betoch hayam vayabasha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam aser natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata batochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Good. Yeah. Thank you.
For the second Aliyah, we would like to invite up Lisa and Jerry Bakanik and Jason Bakanik. Ya'amdu Esther bat Moshe Penina v'Naftali ben William Ubesi v'Yaakov ben Naftali v'Esther le'aliyah le'Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Va'ani hineni mechazek et lev Mitzrayim vayavo acharehem v'kaveda befaro ubechol chelo berichbo ufarashav v'yadeu Mitzrayim ki ani Adonai behi kavedi befaro berichbo ufarashav vayisa malach Elohim haholech lifnei machane Yisrael vayelech me'acharihem vayisa ha'amud ha'anan mipneihem vaya'amod me'acharihem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
For the third Aliyah, we would like to invite up Allison and Chris Harmon. Ta'amod Chaya bat Naftali v'Esther le'aliyah le'Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayavo ben machane Mitzrayim uven machane Israel. Vayehi ha'anan v'hachoshech vayaer et halayla v'lo karav zeh el zeh kol halayla. Vayet Moshe et yado al hayam vayolach Adonai et hayam beruach kadim azah kol halayla vayasem et hayam lacharava vayibaku hamayim vayavou bnei Yisrael betoch hayam vayabasha v'hamayim lahem choma miminam umismolam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'telchenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless my son Matthew, who has come forward this day to the reading of the Torah in recognition of his desire to live a worthy Jewish life. May God continue to be with him in the life before him, just as God has been with him from the day of his birth until now. May it be God's will that he continue to grow in body and spirit, in wisdom, in humility, in the love of all creatures, in faithfulness and courage, and may he always be regarded as gracious and wise in the eyes of God and all humanity. And let us say, Amen.
For our final aliyah, we call up our bar mitzvah, Matthew Harmon. Yamod, Yamod, Yamod. Moshe ben Chaya habachor bar mitzvah le'aliyah le'torah. Chazak ve'amatz. Chazak ve'amatz, may you be strong and courageous.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch
Baruch Adonai hamavorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayardefu Mitzrayim vayavou achareihem kol su'us paro richbo ufarashav el toch hayam vayehi be'ashmoret haboker vayashkef Adonai el machane Mitzrayim be'amud esh be'anan vayam et machane Mitzrayim Vayasar et ofan markevotav vainahagehu bichbedu vayomer Mitzrayim anusa mipnei Yisrael ki Adonai nilcham lahem b'Mitzrayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
While we are in the presence of our Torah and all the blessing it lends to us, we take this moment to think of those in our community, those around the world, who could use a little extra blessing themselves. And as we do so, of course, our hearts and our souls turn to the state, the people, and the land of Israel. And so we have a prayer for Israel, of which you'll find on our screens, that we read responsively. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, We ask your blessing for the state of Israel and for all of Israel's inhabitants. Source of life,
Bless and strengthen those who defend the land and ensure their safe and speedy return home. Protect them and guide them.
Kadosh Baruch Hu, holy and blessed one, show Israel's leaders your path that they may act with wisdom, courage, and dedication, and that they may be unwavering in their pursuit of peace. Strengthen their hearts, but keep them from hardening.
Matir Asurim, freer of the captives, return all those who are kidnapped safe and sound to their homes, without the spilling of more innocent blood, without any more souls being tarnished by horrific acts.
Ba'al Harachamim, master of compassion, help us to hold the humanity and the heartache of the Jewish people, while also holding the humanity and dignity of the Palestinian people.
As we are made in your image, remind us of your ways. Spread over us your shelter of peace, and fulfill the vision of your prophets. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war.
And together we say,
Amen.
We return to our prayer books now at the bottom of page 252 as we prepare to lift, dress, and return the Torah to the Ark. And we invite up Chris Harmon and Mary Lou Osterberg to help us. Page 252 at the bottom. Please rise as you are able.
Bezot HaTorah, asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael, al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
Please be seated. We now have the opportunity to hear a couple words of Haftarah, a part of our Hebrew Bible that connects to our Torah reading of the week. If you would like to follow along with this reading, you are more than welcome to do so back in those Humashim, those printed versions of Torah. And now we're on page 464 with the book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 1, page 464.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nve'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo Uv-Yisrael amo, uvinviei ha'emet v'tzedek. V'tashar Deborah, uvarak ben Avinoam, Bayom hahu lemor, bifroa praot b'Yisrael, behitznade am, parchu Adonai, shimu melachim, ha'azinu roznim, anochi ladonai, anochi ashira, azamer, ladonai, Elohei, Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Tzur Kol HaOlamim Tzadik Bechol Hadarot Ha'el HaNe'eman HaOmer Ve'oseh Hamdaber Umkayem Shekol Devarav Emet Vatzedek Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al HaAnve'im Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenatata Lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha V'limnucha Lechavod Ultifaret Al HaKol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modin Lach Umvarachim Otach Yitbarach Shimcha Befi Kol Chai Tamid Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Matthew, we're so impressed by everything that you were able to do today. How you led us in prayers, how you taught us and brought us Torah, how you were able to really lead a whole service, and all I had to do was call page numbers. So I thank you for that. And we know that there has been so much more than just today that went into making today happen. That, more than anything, is what makes us so proud. Everything that you have given to this moment, everything that you've dedicated, everything that really shows us who you are. We are so incredibly proud of all of that. And because you gave us this wonderful gift of you and your leadership of our community, we get to give a couple gifts back to you. And so first I'd like to invite Steve Kleiman, the president of our congregation, to offer a couple gifts and blessings on behalf of our whole community.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Steve Kleiman, here on behalf of the Temple Jeremiah Board and our Temple Jeremiah community to present some gifts to Matthew. Matthew did a beautiful job chanting Torah, and your Devar Torah about actions being reflective of the type of person you are was very meaningful and certainly something I'll think about this week. Before I get to the gifts, I think it's worth taking a second and looking out at the congregation with a deep breath. This is your family and friends community. They're here because they love and care about you. There's another community that loves and cares about you, and that's your Temple Jeremiah community, and we are incredibly proud of you today. You really did a wonderful job. So we have gifts. The Kiddush cup, which you'll get to in a moment. Every time you take a sip from that Kiddush cup, think of your wonderful accomplishment here today. We have a book, The Amazing Adventures of the Jewish People, which is a great read, inscribed by Rabbi and Cantor. There's also a couple certificates for trips to Israel. Hopefully life gets back to normal sooner rather than later, and you can take advantage of those certificates. And finally, this may all seem like a dream, but you know it's real because in the morning you wake up and you have your very own B'nai Mitzvah certificate. So the only thing left to say is Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov. Leaving me hanging here. Mazel Tov.
So Steve told you how proud he is, and our whole community. I've told you how proud I am. Cantor, I know, has already told you how proud she is, as well as Marianne and Isaac and Vicky and everyone here. I know you can feel the ESP going. We're so proud of you. This is amazing. And I can promise you that no one is more proud than your parents, because you look surprised. They are so proud of you. They've been waiting pretty much 13 years for this moment. And so I'm going to invite them forward to offer a blessing to you, because more blessings are good. More blessings are always good.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. And may you trust in generations past and yet to be. May your heart be filled with intuition, and your words be rich in understanding. May songs of praise ever be upon your tongue, and your vision clarify a straight path before you. May your eyes shine with the light of Torah, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, and your fulfillment be in righteousness, even as you ever yearn to hear the words of the Ancient One of holiness.
So Matthew, I don't know if you knew that I was listening. Before we started the service, you were saying hello to everyone, all your friends and your family who were coming into the synagogue. And I heard you say, "I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming." And I was thinking about that moment and how it is such a good example of who you are, of taking moments that could be all about you and making them about us, making them about finding that joy that we have in being able to be together, in making sure everyone feels appreciated, and making sure that everyone has what they need. It is a rare gift to do that as naturally as you do. It's so wonderful to be able to see that you put so much intention into every single word, into every single action, into every single relationship that you have, that it's true that it really shows who you are. You let this beautiful light shine of who you are into every moment and every day of your life. And we just get to bask in all of that wonderfulness that is you. And what I find so wonderful about that instinct that you have to always make sure that other people feel appreciated and noticed is that we know that habits have the ability to grow on each other. When we do good things, it becomes easier to do good things later. When we take the time to notice, when we take the time to care, when we take the time to learn and to help others learn, we become that conduit that makes it easier to do that for ourselves in the future and for other people in the future. So not only are you showing who you are in every moment that you say, "I'm so glad that you're here, thank you for coming," but you're helping everyone else around you learn from your example and to show that they can do that too, that we can all be as intentional and as kind as you are. It is indeed a rare gift to have that come naturally. It is an even rarer gift and such a blessing for us to be able to learn from your example and to take that into every part of our lives because you do it so easily. It's really, all I can say is thank you. And every part of preparing for this moment has been the same way. I remember when we were working on your Devar Torah, and I said, "Do you really think you need to introduce yourself to everyone? Hopefully they already know who you are." And you're like, "No, I really want to do this. I think it'll be a great joke. It'll be a great way for people to smile." Every single word of your Devar Torah, you put intention and thought into. Every single way of the way that you have crafted today, of the way that you've crafted your life, you have put that same level of intention into it. We're just so amazed. And like I said, it's been a blessing for us. These blessings are opportunities that we have to give parts of ourselves to others so that we can show that each of us can be that best part of who we are more times than we realize. All we need to do is put a little bit of intention and a little bit of practice into it, and we can become a better version of ourselves tomorrow than we were yesterday. And because you've given us this blessing, we get to give you one more blessing. Now coming straight from the Torah, that when Aaron was changing his role in the community, when he was becoming a leader among the Israelites, Moses and God gave him this blessing, So now, as you are changing your role in our community, as you are becoming a leader, we get to give you this same blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and protect you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God always keep watch over you and lift you up as you lift others up. May God bless you with the most precious of all blessings, the blessing of shalom.
Amen.
And to this we all say Amen and Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
It's moments like these where it's not hard to find blessing in our lives and in the world. Moments like these that it is so easy to find them, so easy to acknowledge those blessings, so easy to express our gratitude for those blessings. And our tradition teaches that it is each of our privilege and responsibility to not only notice those moments right now, but to notice them in every part of our lives, to always seek out the blessing that we have in ourselves, the blessing that we have to share with others, and indeed to bless the creator of all blessings, to bless God. Aleinu l'shabeach. It is upon each of us to praise. Page 282 at the bottom. Please rise as you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. It's at this point in our service that we take a moment to think of those who are no longer physically present in our everyday lives, but forever remain a part of our hearts, our minds, and our souls. And so I invite you, if you are in a period of Shiva or Shloshim, if you're marking a yard site, or someone just happens to be called to mind at this moment, I invite you to rise as you are able and to say their name aloud. And of course, at this moment of celebration, Matthew and his family are especially feeling the absence of Polly and Marshall Kotz, Bessie and William Bakanek, Nancy and Clyde Clemens, Florence and Gordon Harmon, and Caroline and William Smiley. Our Kadisha Tome, our mourner's cottage, can be found on page 294. Please rise as you are able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hiroteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayed kol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv, v'yimru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal, shmed kudsha b'rechu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'yimru, Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim alinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, alinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen. Zichronam levracha, may their memories forever be a blessing. And together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Now, it wouldn't be Shabbat without a little bit of a nosh and a little bit of sweetness. And so, Matthew, I know you just got comfortable. I can see you taking a deep breath. But I'm going to invite you back to the bima, along with Ethan, to help us with Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
It's Welch's, I promise. Okay, let's hold this together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
I take a piece first. A couple quick announcements before we all go and continue our Shabbat celebrations. As I mentioned at the beginning of the service, each of you received a copy of our prayer book from our wonderful ushers. Thank you very much, ushers. We ask that when the service is over, you kindly return the prayer books to the ushers. But take a second, notice how many of you there are, notice how many of them there are. There's a couple more of you than we have ushers, and we would love at some point for them to usher again. So we try to only overwhelm them just the right amount. Instead of all of them all at once, maybe just like 5 or 10 at once. They only have so many hands. And I know how many of you want to share all of your mazel tovs and congratulations and way to goes, and I know you could do it, and whatever else you want to say to Matthew as soon as humanly possible. And there's only so much space in our aisles. There's so much more space, though, in the lobby. So what I kindly ask is that when we conclude our service, you let Matthew and his family go first to the lobby before we fill up the aisles, and then you can meet him there, and then give all of your high fives and fist bumps and thumbs up and whatever you can think of. And for Matthew's friends, I know that you are so excited to be able to celebrate with him. There is a bus to help you get to his celebration. It will be at the south entrance, all the way down the hallway, for all of you to find. There's snacks at the celebration. Go to the bus first. Also, don't forget your jackets and all the other things that you brought with you. Did I forget anything? When the service is over. Okay. Okay. We will conclude our service on page 321, and we invite up Kathy and Dave Smiley to help us with our ark doors. Page 321, please rise for our closing song and blessing.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Atzai Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nara, Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara, Adon Olam. Repeat after me. Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Le'et Nasa,
Le'et Nasa,
V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam.
Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. God bless your people with strength. Bless your people with the most precious of all blessings, the blessing of shalom. And Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.